all you hairstylist salon owners and hair enthusiasts. My name is Ambrosia Carey. I am a hairstylist salon owner and educator in the industry, and today I'm actually going to be walking you through a foil technique that's going to be really easy for you to follow. So we're going to take it step by step along each way, coming right up. So this is Shauna here. As you can see, Shauna's a natural level 6. She's got a little warmth naturally in her hair. Here's some highlights that we did previously with some balayage. She's not afraid of warmth. She loves copper. I'm gonna start out with Air Libre by Trust Professional for highlights. And the low light I'm gonna do on her is actually a blend of 0.34 and 0.03, which is the ginger and almond bronze. First, we're gonna start out with some highlights right along the hairline, and you can kind of see that I'm skipping over the front of that hairline, placing everything back, and I'm gonna go in with a standard stitch. I'm gonna go in pretty fine, kind of like a little baby light, and I'm gonna do a traditional foil right on the horizontal of the part line. So what I like to do is skip over from side to side, so that way I'm covering that 3/4 eyebrow to 3/4 eyebrow, and I'm gonna apply my lightener, but I kind of push that up toward the top of the foil before I start blending and blurring out very carefully. And then I'm going to secure the foil in and move on. Next, I'm going to take a slightly wider stitch, and you can kind of see I'm still going in with that baby light style, but I'm taking a wider stance, and then I'm going to start kind of stacking the foils on top of each other. So I'm going from the right side, and then I'm going to move over to the left side, and all I'm going to do is just crease that foil on one side to kind of lock it in and also get it out of my way. So you can see I'm going in wider stance. I'm going all the way to that recession area, which is really important because when she pulls her hair back, I want to make sure we're blending and blurring that regrowth as much as possible. So again, tapping that regrowth in, slightly bringing up to the top of the foil so that way I'm not getting too much product on there. Hence, when I fold it, I don't want to squish that lightener out at the outside of the foil, which I know can happen. Now I'm going back into my horizontal stitch. So you can kind of see the first one was a horizontal stitch. The next two were also horizontal, but they're stacked on top of each other from right to left. Now this guy I'm doing a little differently, so I'm going to actually back brush up into the regrowth. So I don't want to get it right at the regrowth. I'm going to pick up some pieces that need to be lightened up a little bit more before I move into my last and final foil. So this piece right here, I really want to focus and concentrate on dimension but high impact, and I really want to make sure that I'm getting that light there where I need it. This last foil, I'm going to do what I call a push. So I'm going to push her natural regrowth so that it blurs out that line, kick some of those hairs out of the way before I go in with my lightener. And again, I'm going to back brush up into the regrowth. I don't want to go all the way to the regrowth because I want to look still lived in, and I want it to be a nice seamless blur when it does grow out on her. Okay, now we're gonna take it through the sides, and I kick some of those little baby hairs out of the way because if you go in to lighten those baby hairs, not only are they gonna get like stark white, but they're also a little too close to the hairline and it can cause a funky demarcation. So look at how I'm going in with the diagonal, and I'm actually blurring that diagonal so it's closer up to the actual hairline, and then as you go further back, it's a little more blurred. Now I'm picking up some ends, and I'm just gonna highlight those through on pieces that need a little bit more brightening, and I'm just gonna lock that one side in. Now, as you can see, I'm rotating up the head, and I'm taking a slightly steeper diagonal each time. So I started out with what I call a high angle. So high angle is kind of like a diagonal horizontal blend, and I call it high angle because I want to get lots of impact, and you're gonna see me do that a little bit more when I'm actually going with my low lights. but high angle is a nice way of getting coverage, the most light and brightness, but it also blends in a little bit more. So as I continue to move up the head, I'm gonna go in more with a diagonal pattern as you're gonna watch. I'm gonna fold these guys out of the way, same thing, secure the one side to kind of lock that in. And then my last one, boom, I'm actually taking a little bit even more of a diagonal placement, back brushing up, getting that regrowth lightened up again before I move into my final step, which is going to be that dimension. We're gonna put some of that ginger color in through the top. Get ready for this. We're gonna speed it up in a second, and I'm gonna actually apply her color, and then I'm gonna take conditioner through the ends and blur that out. And notice how I'm doing it at an angle. So again, I'm doing that high angle that I was telling you about, which is a slight horizontal and vertical, and I'm going off of the part line so that it doesn't look like hot roots. And this is my last and final step. This is actually at a horizontal, and I'm gonna just blur that into her regrowth. Again, I wanna avoid hot roots. So if you go right to the root with this color, it's going to look a little too contrasty. We don't want it super, super bright and hot root looking. So I'm gonna blur that out with her conditioner, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and secure a foil through the top. I'm gonna let her process for 20 minutes. And then let's take a look and see what it looks like at the very end. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Obviously, with playing around with colors, a lot of times when it comes to tones that are gonna be more vibrant, it's better to stay off the part line just slightly, especially when you're doing it through the top, to avoid that hot root look, because you don't want it super bright at the root area when it comes to dimensional value like that. So just keep that in mind in the future. Try out this new angle, the high angle. I'm sure there are other names for it. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, but give it a go and see. I want to hear what you think. Leave a comment below and make sure you click that bell to subscribe, and then I will be back to show you more tips, more tricks. We're going to go into the business side of things and the technical side for hairstylists, salon owners, and hair enthusiasts alike. Thanks guys. Have a great week.